I took a bit of a chance on Saturday night in Louisville. I went to my first country music concert ever. Stephen Wilson Jr., a native of Seymour, Indiana, was headlining a show at the Louisville Palace, a gorgeous downtown theater that I had somehow also managed to never visit before. I got hooked by his music after happening upon a recording of him playing the classic Ben E. King song, Stand By Me, a few months ago. That performance hit me like a punch to the face, and I have been listening to Wilson's 2023 album, Son of Dad, on repeat ever since. He's not just some random country star, though. Quote, Wilson Jr. has been known to define his sound as Death Cab for Country, since he draws inspiration from indie rock, grunge, and obviously country music, end quote, as Casey Young reports in Whiskey Riff. His love of the Seattle scene from the 90s is clear in many ways, but most importantly, it's baked into his sound. He released an EP earlier this year with 4 great covers of 4 great grunge songs, and those influences rang loud in his new song, Gary, as it annihilated every one of us at the Palace last weekend. Wilson took his guitar off the stage in the middle of the song, continually jamming that hypnotic riff, and headed to the back near the soundboard. Only a few of us with seats underneath the balcony could see that Wilson's 90-year-old grandma was sitting back there. He played right in front of her for about a minute while she stood there beaming and swaying at him before he kissed her and ran back to the stage. My wife and I were lucky enough to be sitting nearby and got to see the private performance. Unbelievable. I couldn't stop wondering what that moment must have felt like for both of them. For us, it felt like we had crashed a family affair on Saturday night. 2,600 people filled the place, and a good number of them were from Seymour or Jackson County or just somewhere in Indiana to see one of their own. There was IU gear everywhere. When the pre-concert tunes belted out John Mellencamp's Scarecrow, the crowd sang along, and that was the only pre-game sing-along. It was like an early Indiana Thanksgiving. Wilson and I are both Hoosiers. We are both late bloomers, too. He has been nominated for New Artist of the Year by the CMA, and at 46 years old, he would be the oldest winner in the award's history. No, I can't match that kind of achievement, but I did change careers late in life and feel like I am now doing what I was always meant to do. He left his job as a scientist just before turning 40 and went all in on a music career. It's a late start, and even after that late start, his success was certainly not overnight. Late in the show, Wilson made the comment in between songs, quote, music is magic. I believe it connects us all, end quote. I agree entirely. That crowd, at that moment, was magically connected. During Father's Son, a truly powerful song about his relationship with his late father and the inspiration of the entire album, my wife leaned over to me and said, I can feel the people crying around me. I've never been to a concert that did that. Which brings me back to that risky chance I took by simply going to this show. I don't listen to country music. There are times when I don't even approve of it. Wilson told a little story about his days as a scientist and about the people he worked with then. Quote, they used to call me hillbilly. That was not a compliment, end quote. I spent my early childhood in hillbilly country. I still have family there, and I consider myself Appalachian. When I heard country music as a child, and certainly after I relocated to the Midwest, it almost felt like those southern draws people sang in were practically mocking us. As dumb as that is, it's why I will never broadly be a country music fan. On the other hand, I will always be a Stephen Wilson Jr. fan. We connected. I already know I will love his next album just from the 2 songs I've already heard during that private performance we crashed last weekend. Note, Preacher's Kid is fantastic too. No, I'm not going to start wearing flannel shirts to concerts, like a good number of men did on Saturday, even though it was 75 degrees outside. And no, I won't wear a baseball cap to a theater, even when the star of the show does. But I will keep trying new things, learning new tricks, and growing as a person as much as I can. I'm glad I now have a role model for exactly those things.